Let me just say, before I answer that this is not just a government culpability and malfeasance with respect to hydroxychloroquine. This is academic malfeasance. There were 2 fraudulent papers, one in the New England Journal of Medicine, one in Lancet, published by individuals interested in doing evil to the world with respect to a beneficial treatment of hydroxychloroquine. In an unprecedented manner, these 2 manuscripts were withdrawn after 2 weeks where they could scare the public and the world's physician audience. Since that time, there have been dozens of fraudulent papers.
Re-emphasize that. They were then withdrawn.
They were withdrawn, and the New England Journal of Medicine and Lancet acknowledged that they were fraudulent papers. They were scare papers to scare people on hydroxychloroquine. Since that time, there's been dozens of pile-on scare tactics in academics. This isn't the government. This is people in my field, in academic medicine, who are committing academic fraud. I reviewed a paper. I'm a cardiologist. I reviewed a paper that made it into the medical literature demonstrating that hydroxychloroquine causes a heart attack, that hydroxychloroquine causes a giant scar in the heart. And I can tell you, I'm at Baylor in Dallas. We have the world's most recognized cardiac pathology program in the world. Our senior examiner has held in his hands more human hearts than anybody in the history of mankind. I can tell you firsthand, hydroxychloroquine does not cause giant scars in the heart. So academic medicine is committing a fraud, is committing, I think, a crime against humanity. There must be a motivation behind this that's much bigger than just Democrat versus Republican. I am extremely concerned, honestly, about the academic contribution to scare tactics in the world. Now, it's not working everywhere. In India, it's given first line. And India is such a crowded country. I've been there myself. Their deaths per million population is a tiny fraction of America. If you're in Greece right now,
isn't it 95 versus over 700?
Yeah, so we have,
and they're using hydroxychloroquine.
Right, we have nearly 800 deaths per million population in the United States, and we're all spread out. In India, they're on top of each other. They have less than 100 deaths per million population. The leading doctor in India is willing to come testify to the United States and tell you the reason why. They have tons of COVID. It's spreading over like crazy, but they're treating it at home with hydroxychloroquine and other drugs. Remember, it's a multi-drug program, probably about four or so drugs plus supplements, and they've handled the infection. Greece, everyone's been traveled in Europe. Greece is not a third world country. First line, you're given hydroxychloroquine. Okay, we've missed the ball. There's 30 countries that have approved an oral version of remdesivir called favipiravir. 30 countries, including Japan. Every country that is actually having a reasonable public health response is treating this problem at home. Now, none of these drugs are a cure, but they allow the patient to get through the illness. Like myself, I missed 10 days off of work, and I returned to the workforce. I didn't get in the hospital for 4 weeks. They allow people to stay at home and not go out and contaminate other people. My wife and I got it at the same time, and because we were treated at home, we were actually able to stay at home so we didn't contaminate other people. The current program that's supported by the Minority Witness and the National Institutes of Health and all government bodies is that patients go home, they get no help whatsoever, doctors are not supposed to treat them, they go out in a panic to urgent cares and ERs, contaminate more people, and then they're hospitalized and die. America has to wake up right here, right now. We are getting buried, and we need home treatment.